Rev up your engines!
Well, Mary Barra, GM's at it again. They're saying that EVs are hard to sell, even at $30,000. Talking about the Bolts and stuff. Well, here's the thing. They're saying, we can't make a profit selling them at that low price, right? Maybe you can make them more efficiently, make them better, What gets me is, on paper, electric cars are so much simpler than gasoline and diesel cars. You don't have an engine with a million pieces. There's hardly any moving pieces in an electric car. Now, it's their own fault that they're making them with all this added luxury crap on them. They could make them with a steering wheel, a switch, and a battery and go down the road, right? They could be very simple, but they make them too high tech. And then they whine that, well, it's hard to make a profit selling for $30,000. Well, guess what? The Chinese are making some for $5,000, right? It's just that GM is such a messed up corporation that, you can't overhaul those things overnight. It'd take decades. It's just massive corporate greed and mistakes that they've made, and they're not all of a sudden going to make something that works at a good price, and now they got too much infrastructure that they got to pay for, right? I just find it hilarious to say, we can't possibly make one of these for 30 grand and make a profit. Come on, the Chinese are making them for $5 and making a profit, right? But they also say they're going to make nothing but electric cars in 10 years or something. So, hey, we got the upside down party here. They don't know which end's up and which end is down. Hilarious thing is, Mary gave the speech at the 39th annual Bernstein Strategic Decisions Conference, right? See, now they're telling the truth there. This isn't for stock shareholders or the average person where Chevy's got the ads, we're going to save the world with our electric cars. This is actual strategic decision thing where they're saying, we can't make these cars for 30 grand and make a profit. And she also said, well, everybody's buying big trucks and big SUVs, so, we're going to make those. One thing behind closed doors, what they don't understand is there's no closed doors anymore. Everybody at any of these meetings, somebody's going to have a phone recording, and they're going to give this information to the media, which then leaks out to say, hey, they're talking about making electric cars, but they say, hey, we can't make these at a profit. Let's keep making these big old trucks and SUVs instead, right? Follow the money, follow the money. Don't follow the talk, follow the money. And thank goodness somebody had the brass balls of going to this meeting and giving the information out to everyone so we can see what bald-faced liars these people are. Well, if you're an article in the Wall Street Journal, boys, it's the truth. Big companies are now on the verge of a new market for clean energy tax credits, right? So if they're making electric cars, they can sell tax credits to people. This is the same old boondoggle that's been going on for a while. It's the same thing where they're giving people credits for having green energy or saving the planet by letting other people pollute, and then the people who pollute, well, they just put money into these companies that grow trees or something, right? It's just another scam, just like carbon credits. And if you've read anything about these carbon credits, you'll find out that worldwide, most of it is a gigantic scam. They're not actually doing anything except rearranging the deck while the ship sinks, saying, we gave money to these people in South America so they don't cut the rainforest down, so there's a carbon credit, so now we can pollute over here, right? The trees are already there, right? They'll come up with all kinds of lame excuses like, well, if we don't do that, then we'll cut the trees down. I mean, you got to look at it and laugh. It's comical, It's just make-believe carbon credits, and now, of course, it's the Wall Street Journal showed how it's going to be a gigantic business, right, of more scams pulling on people. They'll probably do stuff like, we'll give you credits because you're making electric cars. Well, making the electric cars pollutes like heck in its own place. So you're creating a lot of pollution, make the lithium and all this other stuff. So it's not like they're not polluting. They're polluting, but they'll come up with some total BS, such as our electric car company is completely carbon neutral, which of course is a fantasy. They're building things. They're creating pollution, and them saying it's neutral, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's just bureaucratic shuffling. They're creating things. They're going to create pollution, right? Don't say they're carbon neutral. It's a bunch of crap. It's total nonsense. And now, of course, the industry is getting, people are investing money and they're putting stock market stuff in these companies. Oh, great company, great company. Oh, carbon neutral. What a bunch of nonsense. Well, here's one I can't resist. A big Illinois Harley Davidson dealer is closing down forever. And here is the reasoning they give. One has to laugh at the absolute horse manure that they throw out. Here's what Harley Davidson said. The decision was made to close the dealership as a strategic move to optimize the Harley Davidson market. The dealerships are going out of business and they call it a strategic move. What a load of baloney. That's even worse than when a company fires an executive and they say, oh, well, they're moving on with their life. They want new challenges. No, they fired the guy, right? or the woman, whoever it was. They fired them and they say, well, they're moving on to new lifestyle challenges. Well, in this case, Harley Davidson has the brass balls to say, we're closing the dealership as a strategic move to optimize the Harley Davidson market. What a load of baloney. You couldn't make up more crap if you tried. We're optimizing our market by closing the dealerships. Eventually, if we close them all, it'll be totally optimized. Everything will be perfect. We'll have no more problems of having to fix the things when they break and deal with warranty. There won't be any out there, right? Then it'll be totally optimized. Okay, you know much talking about Hyundais, and people say, Scotty, why do you say bad things? Oh, I like mine. It's a great car. Here's an email for one of your viewers. Dale Cormesa says, seen your videos on Hyundai. Hilarious. You said word for word what the dealer told me. They said, burning a lot of oil is normal in my Hyundai. And they said the top end noise on acceleration is normal too. I said, it's not normal. The engine will blow it up. Then they said, bring it back if it blows up. Sure enough, the engine blew up. I was actually thinking about buying another Korean car. Very stupid then. I saw your videos. They put my head on straight. Now I'm going to get a Toyota Camry. Many thanks. Love your videos. Definitely helped me. I mean, I feel sorry for people when they get those. When they bring them to me as a mechanic, they say, well, your engine's shot, right? But they told me that noise was normal. Yeah, then the engine blows up, right? It's just total nonsense. The way that they claim they make good cars, but they don't. Some of these companies, I swear, they spend more money advertising their vehicles than they do on research and development to build the things. They've had nothing but problems with these Korean cars. And people can say whatever they want about it. They don't make them all that well. And they've had engine problems up the wazoo. Who's to say it's going to get any different? It certainly hasn't over the last decade. You can't make this stuff up. You know, now if it was you happening to you, you wouldn't be laughing like me. You'd be, oh my God, why did I buy that car? This is why I warn people not to buy these things. I see what's wrong. I tell you what's wrong. I tell you what's going out there. But I'll tell you the truth. When they do make them well, I'll tell you the truth. Effie Man says, I got a question about TSBs. That's technical service bulletins. I got a 98 Ranger. I've been told there's a TSB concerning front end alignment. Every time I got it aligned, it lasts over the warranty and I hear a twang and it's out again. How can I find a TSB on something like that? I can't find it on government websites. Find a guy like me. I use data systems, right? I pay for them, I'm a mechanic. I go put your car in the case of yours. If I had your VIN number, I could type the VIN number into my data system. Then it'll come up and it'll have a list of every TSB that car has, and I can go through them. It's easy to do. Any mechanic has access to that information. So you want to send me an email with your VIN number? I can look it up for you, you know. But any mechanic with the data system can do the same thing. Odds are, though, you can't talk to a mechanic. They're hiding in a shop somewhere, and the owner doesn't want you talking to the mechanics. He wants to talk to the sales guys that are going to sell you a bunch of stuff, not the mechanics that are actually fixing it. But they all have data systems, and if you do have a good mechanic, just ask him. He'll look it up for you. He can show you what's going on. And if he doesn't have a data system that can do that, he's a crap mechanic. We mechanics have to have such data systems. Cars are so complex these days, you can't remember everything. In my grandfather's days, cars are simple. You could remember everything that goes wrong. Not today. Have them look it up on the data system. If you're wondering about that Clario strike, the Union of Auto Workers in Ohio, it's still going on. And yet again, the union has tried some fast one, the union execs, to get the workers to sign, and they're not signing. The UAW official says, we're giving packets to our members so they can see what's happening, right? As far as what everybody else who analyzes it says, it's just the same old deal. The union officers have just sold out to the corporations. Just like when Chrysler bribed the UAW officials, and they even went and they lost in court, showing that they did, and they had to pay money, and people got in trouble, right? Because they bribed the union officials. Sure seems like the same thing's going on in Ohio. Here's what one of the analysts said. The manner in which this announcement was made is highly suspicious, with all signs indicating that the rest of the bureaucracy will be nothing but a rehash of the two previous UAW-backed proposals that the workers rejected. Now, of course, the car manufacturers are fighting it. They got a lot more money than the union has, right? Because they're not going to back down. They don't care. One factory, they'll let them go on forever. As a matter of fact, they got scabs working in the factory now, so they don't care. It's not like that factory isn't producing. It's producing stuff now. They really don't care. Now, if there was nobody producing anything, yeah, then they're screwed. Then down the line, they can't build their cars. But they got scabs working there, so it's nothing to them. La-di-da, they're getting their parts anyway. So it's just showing you the corruption that's endemic in this country today, even in the unions. They're obviously corrupt as can be. Look at the Chrysler one with UAW. I mean, that went to court and they were proven that they were bribed, right? What do they say? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, that seems to be a truism these days. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.